Just what are we trying so hard to protect? 歌を食い物にして蒼天堀の帝王なんて呼ばれてそれでできた居場所ってのは
Alright, cool. Ado. I apologize. I did not know anything about her until 2 days ago, until someone in the comments said I didn't mention Ado in that video. And I was like, yes, I know she's in there, but I didn't know anything about her. I thought she was like a streamer or just someone that got lucky and got on the gig of this video game, and had no idea she is like a superstar over in Japan and internationally now. But my bad. So I've been listening to her for the last couple days, and she is amazing. Her Usewa song, I actually thought there was like 3 other singers on there. I was like, is she singing by herself? Because it doesn't mention any collaboration or any features. And come to find out, yeah, it's all her voice, and she's just that good, and she can make herself sound different ways. So when she sings this, sings her verse, I was laughing after listening to her for 2 days. You know, I started laughing because I'm listening to her, and that's her mature sounding voice. Because initially, when I first heard this trailer, I was like, who's that grown woman singing? And come to find out, she's like 23 years old, and she's just that good. She can make her voice sound like mature if she wants to. There's so much to say about the vocals, and especially her vocals, because she is so good. She's an amazing singer.
Just what are we trying so hard to protect? 歌を食い物にして蒼天堀の帝王なんて呼ばれて
Kurai machi. Satoshi-san is doing the melody, and then she's above him. She's doing an octave higher. She's singing the same note an octave higher. All right, one thing I just found out like a few hours ago, because I Googled it. I was like, who wrote Stranger Than Heaven? And it's actually Tori Kelly and Satoshi-san. So with that being said, now I understand a little bit more of why maybe she's not featured even more. Like, I feel like there's a couple parts where I'm like, oh, it'd have been nice if she was singing that instead. It's more so she's a feature, and then Satoshi and Tori Kelly are they're the ones that wrote the song, so they get more credit, they get more singing time, I guess you can say, or at least in the front. So
What's your story? Just a poem for the Yakuza. Some things never change.
Okay, one thing I'll point out too, and this is probably why I didn't notice her as much, because I'm a fan of Satoshi and Tori Kelly, like before 2 days ago. So then when I'm listening to this, I'm just hearing their voices. I'm not really paying attention to Ado. Like, she kind of took a back seat in my mind. So as I'm listening to it, right? So with the reason I think also why she didn't stand out to me is because Tori Kelly's track is the loudest of the three singers, because she's American and it's English, right? So the words are in English. If they made Satoshi's or Ado's tracks louder, if they're too loud or louder than Tori Kelly's, then we potentially will hear their accents, and it'll be distracting as you're watching the trailer. So they have to kind of mask it with Tori Kelly's voice, and then you have them either singing in unison, or they're the ones doing the harmony, at least during the English parts of the song, because it'll be too distracting. Your attention will go to the vocalist. But if you're hearing an English singer, most Americans are just gonna just keep watching and keep listening to what's happening within the trailer.
Obsessing over one man's death. That's no way to live a life. I know.
Then I can't call home. I believe that's Ado singing that part. You know, so there's sometimes it's 2-part harmony, sometimes it's 3-part harmony. And that's Satoshi and Ado. Ado-sama. I wanna give her that sama. I wanna call her Ado-sama just because she deserves that title, that honorific, because she is that good. But I'm gonna sound like a weeaboo, so I'm gonna just keep it at Ado. And then right there, Na 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 na. I initially thought when I was listening to her music, she sounds like she has a hint of Shakira, and reason being, it's that yodeling sound. She does it not a lot, but Shakira to me overdoes it. But I feel like Ado does it just right, and she just sprinkles it in there. She sprinkles it in, and it just makes it sound nice. So you hear it every once in a while, as you're paying attention to the vocals in this song. It's crazy because the three of them, Tori, Satoshi, and Ado, they have very similar qualities in their voice, and sometimes it is hard to distinguish between their voices as I listen to it. But then there are times where then Ado will do her yodeling a little bit or vibrato. That's when you can like figure out who's singing what. And so as I'm listening to it, it's kind of hard, but I believe I'm hearing Satoshi. He's singing the melody. And then Ado is singing. And then she puts a little vibrato or yodel in there at the very end, at the tip of it. Which makes me think she's the one doing the harmony. They're very close. Very, very similar in sound right there. So harmony. One thing I'll point out, the instrumentation is basically, there's drums, obviously. Drums, a bass, some type of bass. Then you have like a synth that I think it's probably like a horn synth. And then the vocals, and then strings. The strings, as I'm listening to it, I don't really hear bottom heavy strings like a bass or cellos. I'm hearing top. So I'm assuming that it's probably 4 to 8 violins. It's very shallow. It's a small ensemble. It doesn't call for like a big orchestra. I want the big orchestra and everything because I like that sound. I'm talking about like that Star Wars, Marvel Endgame or Lord of the Rings type of sound where it's just rich with orchestra because that's just my thing. It doesn't call for that because the story is not that big and grand and epic of a story. It's not like a Game of Thrones, right? It's not a Lord of the Rings. It's like it wouldn't make sense to put an orchestra sound on, let's say, Breaking Bad, the show Breaking Bad. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you have a full-blown orchestra on it? It doesn't match what's on screen. So with this, I would say there's only about 4 to 8 strings. They only appear during the choruses in the song, and it initially starts with them on the boat. When Tori Kelly's on the boat, when Tori Kelly's singing and Snoop Dogg's on that boat in the very beginning, there's probably like 2 violins playing there. And then as it gets to the next choruses, it kind of builds a little bit more, a little more strings. And then when it gets here, you can see visually, it's like the doors open and then you see Ado singing in front of a big stage. And so it's a long shot. So then it kind of, they want to give you a little bit more music, a little bit more richness to the sound. And so that's where you have the strings come in and then they're doing like harmony. So I'll kind of point it out. It does this. They do like a crescendo. Let's see. I'll play it again without me playing, but it's like right when the doors open. It's probably on the 3rd beat. Let me see.
We could always just make our home for our own country. It's the only choice we got.
Yeah, you see? You hear that yodel? So she sings the top on that part.
We could always just make...
And there. Took all my pain and me. It's like, it's cool because she's Ado. I'm talking about Ado. She's kind of singing like solo in a weird way. She's harmonizing, but she's also singing it like she's the soloist. Let me see if I can. I'll imitate her what she's singing.
You know, we could always just make our home for our own. You know, we could always just make our home for our own.
どうわきまえやさんした
You know, we could always just make our home for our own country. It's the only choice we got.
And so Satoshi's singing the harmony and she's singing the melody right there.
Just make our home for our own country. It's the only choice we got.
Our only way forward is to make a place for ourselves. That settles it, Makoto. If this country won't accept us, we'll carve out our own right from underneath.
And then she sings solo right there. Na 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 show. And it's very, very powerful. So now she's starting to flex. Thankfully, it's still in the background. Like I think so. When I initially heard this song, I thought like maybe that's Tori Kelly singing Japanese because I didn't associate that Ado can do that. I thought Ado is that mature sounding voice. So when I hear na 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 show, and it sounds very like gritty, I was like, now because I know what Ado is capable of, and I'm like, oh snap, that's Ado.
If this country won't accept us, we'll carve out our own right from underneath it.
Okay, right there. So in my first video, I was like, it's just stranger than heaven. 1, 4, 5. So stranger than heaven. But in this part, and I didn't even notice it, but Tori Kelly goes stranger than heaven. So what I'll say about that is like the melody kind of shapes, it kind of tells you the chord, right? So when she did that, stranger than heaven. So she's making it sound minor, right? It's kind of like, I'll give an example. Like my dad, he can sing, and he'll want me to play old school songs. He'll like, oh, can you play this old song? And I've never heard it before. I don't know anything about that song. So I'll have him sing it a cappella. And as I'm listening to him sing it, I'm starting to figure out the chord throughout the melody that he's singing. So as he's singing his song, I'm like, okay, that must be this chord. And so that's one way to figure out chords or chords for a song is by listening to the melody, which was cool. Tori Kelly did that because it's very subtle, but her voice does it. You have the two going stranger than heaven. Oh, stranger than heaven. And then she goes stranger than heaven.
They won't accept us. We'll carve out our own right from underneath it.
I can't even do it clean, but that's Ado. Ado's like, let's see. Let's see if I can hear it. Point it out.
Hey, Japan!
See, like right there. Just my personal preference or opinion, I would have had Ado sing that part. I found a place where I'm not alone. Maybe I don't know if she has a stronger, thicker accent than Satoshi-san, but because I said in the first video that it didn't come out strong enough, or it doesn't come off strong the way he sang it. And not that it calls for it in the trailer, but I feel like Ado could have made it sound a little bit smoother. It's still fine, but it's just my personal preference.
Come on, join the fun. It's our homecoming.
Oh yeah, one other thing to point out. So you have this is the only time when the strings come, not during the chorus. So they're doing this like staccato on the top. And before, when it's the whole Mickey Mousing, it's like boom, 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 boom. all doing all that, right? So you have this. Now it switches. So you have this, and then you have the piano going. It goes. And then it kind of starts building with chords and everything else. So it starts out just shallow with just strings and the piano playing one note on the bottom on the bass side. So let's see if I can bring it back.
Hey, Japan! Come on, join the fun. It's our homecoming after all.
Na, 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 na. That's the strings. Let's see.
Come on, join the fun. It's our homecoming after all.
So long, America! This is my home, and nothing's gonna change that!
That's the other part. That's the other part where I would have had Ado-san sing it. But I understand. This is more so Tori Kelly's and Satoshi's song compared to Ado.
It's our homecoming after all.
So long, America! This is my home!
If it was Ado, oh man, she would have murdered that part.
Join the fun. It's our homecoming after all.
So long, America! This is my home, and nothing's gonna change that!
Okay. The na, 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 na. I think that's Tori. It's like I said, on the top end, it's hard to distinguish who's who unless they do something distinctly unique to their voice, because they also they kind of have a similar style of quality of voice, but octave higher. Testing my faith. So imagine, but that's Ado right there. From testing my faith. That could be Tori or Ado. Testing my faith. Made a weapon. It's like, and made a weapon. A weapon. Testing my faith. And made a weapon. And that's her. Na, 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 na. And then now she sounds a little more rock, punkish, which is dope. I like that they gave that to her. Na, 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 sha. And then at the end, whoa, she does that like yodel right at the end. Like Tori Kelly and Satoshi kind of end a little sooner than her, and she holds just a half second more, and she does her little and it just gives that like flavor to the song. It gives flavor to the trailer. And what's nice is it kind of, because the way she sings, it's like there are times where it can sound very emotional, and it's like almost like she's like crying, and it's good because I think that it just brings that much more depth and emotion to the trailer as you're hearing it, because you're just like, oof, like it's an emotional trailer. Kudos to Ado-sama. She's an amazing singer. I am so sorry, sumimasen, for not mentioning her in the first video, but if you don't know her, look her up. Like, she is so skilled in vocally. She blew my mind away. She blew my ears away. So yeah, definitely check her out.
Stranger than heaven.
Clean. Oh yeah. But yeah, so if you guys like this stuff, like music breakdowns, let me know. And let me know if there's like something you want me to break down. I enjoy it, and I definitely am gonna do different videos, different topics. This channel, I feel like is gonna have a lot of different things, but one of those things is music, because I enjoy it. I love scores. I like film scores and compositions and stuff like that, and vocals. Let me know what you guys want. If there's something that interests you that you maybe would like to see broken down, and I'll do it. And yeah, we'll go from there. And just like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. And like, thankfully to the guy in the comments, him mentioning Aldo changed me, because I'm a fan of her, and I've been listening to her on repeat for the last couple of days. And I just wish her the best in all she does. She has so much potential. She has the gift. Like, there are a lot of great singers, but she has that like X factor. She is like, and it just comes naturally. I believe it's a natural thing for her. It's not like she's trying to, sing a certain way and really thinking about how she's singing. It's just coming out naturally, and it's a beautiful thing. So check her stuff out. Listen to her. Yeah, I hope she makes it big internationally, because she deserves it for sure.